What if I told you that you could run ComfyUI, one of the most powerful AI image generation tools, on your old laptop, your phone, or even a tablet, completely free? No expensive GPU required, no monthly subscriptions, just Wi-Fi and 5 minutes of setup. Most people think AI image generation isn't for them, no powerful GPU. A weak laptop, just a phone, or a cloud fee seem too much, but that's not true. First, open Google Chrome or any browser you have and type in Colab. Then go to the website that comes up. Next, click the Open Code button on the website. Next, click on New Notebook. Now, you might be wondering what's a notebook in Colab. Think of it as a cloud-based workspace where you can run all your code. Everything you do here, commands, scripts, even secret keys, gets stored safely in your Google Drive, so you can access it anytime from anywhere. Remember, only your notebook is saved in Google Drive. Everything else runs temporarily on Colab's stable T4 GPU setup with 12 GB RAM and 100 GB disk. Sessions last 5 to 8 hours, so make sure to download your workflow, images, and videos before the timer ends. This setup runs ComfyUI super smoothly, and your phone or tablet can access it via Cloudflare tunnel. So let's move on to setting up everything step by step. First, you'll notice a blue icon at the bottom of the page. That's Google Gemini built right into the Colab. You can ask it questions about the code, and it works like an AI agent, guiding you through everything and even helping run things by itself for you. Over here, this section is where you'll execute your commands. And since Colab runs entirely on Python, every command you use here is Python code. On the left side, you get access to everything in Colab, like your file browser, installed libraries, secrets stored like API keys and settings, all things you need to manage in one place. After that, click on the Change Runtime Type option from the drop-down menu. Here, make sure you select Python 3 and switch the hardware accelerator to a T4 GPU. This is essential for our setup. Then just hit Save. Session is starting up, and as you can see, it's connecting right now. Click on it and you'll see all the resources assigned to your session: GPU, CPU, RAM, and disk. We're getting a T4 NVIDIA GPU with around 12 GB of RAM, solid CPU power, about 12 GB system RAM, and over 100 GB of disk space, which is more than enough to run ComfyUI smoothly. And you can also see right here that this session only lasts for a few hours before it automatically resets. You'll see a code option. Click on it and a new tab will appear where you can run your Python code. Run this command, which shows the system specifications and how the system is being used, such as CPU usage and other details. After running this command, we get an overview of our GPU. As you can see, you can check details like the GPU type, driver, CUDA version, memory usage, and running processes right here. Now run this command to clone ComfyUI into Google Colab. This downloads the ComfyUI files from GitHub and moves us into the ComfyUI folder so we can continue the setup. Once you see this green tick, it means the command has been executed successfully. Now run this command to install all the Python dependencies required by ComfyUI. This step makes sure everything ComfyUI needs to run properly is installed in your Colab environment. Now let's just wait a minute and let the command finish executing. Once it shows successful, it means everything has been installed correctly. Now run this command to move into the Custom Nodes folder. This is where we install extra features like Animate Diff, Video Output, and the Node Manager, so ComfyUI can load them when it starts. Now run this command to add the Animate Diff nodes. This downloads the Animate Diff extension into ComfyUI, which is required for using motion modules and creating animations. Now run this command to add the ComfyUI Manager. It's optional but very helpful for managing your setup. After that, we move back to the main ComfyUI folder to run the next commands. Now let's create the necessary model folders again. These folders will hold checkpoints, VAs, LoRa's, and Animate Diff motion models so everything stays organized for ComfyUI. Now run this command to download a V model. I'm installing this specific one, but you can choose a different model based on your needs. It depends on what you want to use. V models help improve image quality and style in ComfyUI. Now run this command to download an image model called Realistic Vision V 6.0. This is the main model that will generate your images in ComfyUI. I'm downloading this specific one, but you can choose a different model depending on your needs. Now run this command to download a motion model for Animate Diff. This model allows you to create animations and motion effects in ComfyUI. You can use this one or pick a different motion model depending on your needs. Now run this command to set up a Cloudflare tunnel. This creates a random public URL that anyone can use to access your ComfyUI from anywhere, your PC, mobile, or any device. By default, it's open to anyone with the link, but if you want to make it secure, you can add a login page, just like you can do in N8N, so only authorized users can access it. Now run this command to launch ComfyUI along with the Cloudflare tunnel. This will start ComfyUI on your Colab and create a public URL. Open that URL to make sure ComfyUI is working, and you can access it from any device. Cloudflare will give you a link like this, as you can see. This is the URL where you can access ComfyUI. It might take a little time to open in your browser, so just be patient and it will work. Keep in mind, this ComfyUI setup is based on my own choices of nodes, folders, and models. Your setup can be completely different, so you'll need to configure it according to your own preferences. You can ask Claude for help with your specific setup, or reach out to me on Instagram. But this is a simple setup that I am doing here, and it removes the excuse that you can't learn AI, basically. Colab is actually for machine learning, but you can use any model or run anything locally like N8N or ComfyUI like I am doing, and index TTS and many other things for free. Colab gives you sessions for a few hours, and sometimes the T4 GPU is not available. So you can use Kaggle instead, which is exactly the same as Colab, but more generous. It gives you a 30-hour session per week, which is very generous unlike Colab. Now, note an important point. You must download your workflows, images, and videos. You can use the export option to download your workflow. Because these files are not saved permanently in the Colab notebook, they only exist on the Colab session, which gets terminated after your setup. Later, you can use the open option to import your workflow back whenever you run ComfyUI again. Your images and videos can be found in the Assets section, where you can download them directly. Now, let's move on to the exciting part. We'll use an image model to generate an image using my workflow. First, we'll use the Load Checkpoint node for the specific model we want to use. Each model can have its own Load Checkpoint node to load it into the workflow. Models can be stored in different folders, so you need to configure your setup according to your own preferences. Here, we are using the Image Model Realistic Vision V 6.0b1 for generating images in our workflow. Next, we have the Clip Text Encode prompt node, which we use to add our prompt. This node is for positive conditioning, and you can see it's connected to the KSample node with positive conditioning. Positive conditioning tells the model what you want in the image, reinforcing the features, objects, or style described in your prompt. On the other hand, negative conditioning tells the model what to avoid, helping prevent unwanted elements from appearing in the generated image. We also have the empty latent image node, which is used as a starting point. It provides the initial blank image data that the model modifies to create the final output. Now, make sure to connect the nodes exactly as I did. The Clip Text Encode nodes for positive and negative conditioning, the empty latent image node, and the KSample node should all be wired correctly so the workflow runs smoothly and generates the image properly. We also have the VEncode node, which is used to process and refine the latent image for better quality and style. Make sure to connect the VAE node to the Load Checkpoint node exactly as I did so the workflow runs correctly. At the end, we have the Save Image node, which is used to save the final generated image to your workspace so you can download or use it later. Now, let's run the workflow and see what the generated image will look like. Make sure not to stop the Python execution or ComfyUI will stop running. If that happens, simply run this command again to launch ComfyUI with Cloudflare. Here we have our generated image of a parrot, And make sure to download this image before the session ends. Thanks for watching. You don't have to watch this full tutorial again, just go to my description and look for the Python script file. Download it, copy everything written in that file, and paste it into the code tab where we write Python code. Your setup will be ready in just 2 minutes. You don't have to put code step by step again and again. Just paste it all in at once and you're done. That's it for today. And bye.